enjoy about this whole thing right now.
Yes.
Is how I met Ed in you. And that one email that I sent out prepared for him before he even asked for it.
Yes.
And that woman's name was the person top of the list in the email. So I come here today and I'm just like, really, God? Okay, is Janine really sitting here right now? Is her son really here right now?
I tried to find him. I did.
And it's synchronicity, and it means so much to me because it's that power of patience and timing and purposeful reciprocity.
Yeah.
It's the main thing that I've just been writing lately. And it's just like wait, just wait. And when it's the time,
Divine time.
it's the time.
That's
Like
right.
it's just the time. Like I came from today, where I've been, where I'm going to, and where I am right now. It's just like I've had a intense day, and I'm just so grateful to be here right now. And I can't believe the morning I had, and I can't believe the night that I'm probably about to have, and wherever we go in my now. It's just so
And everything
awesome. I'm just so glad to be here right now.
All of the mad spin that's out there. I just feel like we're in a bubble right now.
Yes. Somebody's lit.
Yeah, and it's a matter of surrendering to the process and humbling
That's
to
right.
the process.
That's right.
Oh, there she is. Did you know you were coming on camera? This is Sue's my partner in process. And that's Ed.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
I'll break.
That's all right.
Have you? I'm Dr. Kathleen Walls.
And I am Louise Victor.
And we are watching the Sisters in Harmony Network. Welcome back to Dr. Walls and Friends on SIH Global 1 and Africa TV 1. And as I told you, this is a powerful roundtable here because as you notice, there's a new member on this couch. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, good evening. I'm Suyan Thorne, co-founder of ProSafe.
And tell the people what it is that you do. Now, Valika talked a little bit about what the organization does. What is your role with the organization?
Primarily hosting or running surviving sexual assault part of it, which deals with surviving sexual violence across the board.
Yes. And I'm so glad that you bring that up. We were actually, as I mentioned earlier, we were on Tell It Like It Is last night with Delia Delore. And the topic that I, along with Sisters in Harmony, talked about was domestic violence. And that's a big one. And we know that a lot of times on the island, and this really is worldwide, it goes hush. And we know that child sexual abuse, hush. We've had the opportunity to talk with Vincent McDoom, and he shared with us his story about being abused as a child. And so it is just something that a lot of people don't share until they get older. Now, from a psychological standpoint, there's all types of reasons why we're trained that the ego's not strong enough, or that a lot of times it turns out either someone's not listening, they don't believe the story, or the person's been sacrificed for the sake of something allegedly greater. What has your work, first of all, how did you get into this work? And what have you found to be rewarding about this work?
I don't even know how to tell you I really got into it.
Okay.
I started out, initially I wanted to study law. And then I think I wanted to study sexual violence, but the perpetrators of it, because I wanted to understand why.
Yes.
And then I came back, and I don't know what happened, but at some point I decided that I wanted to do more to help survivors.
Okay.
Primarily because I'm a survivor myself.
All right.
And I know we have absolutely nothing, or I shouldn't say that, but I should say very limited resources on island. And we wanted to do more.
Yeah.
Too many people come forward and they say that thank you for doing this, and a lot of the people that speak to us, the first time they shared their stories by speaking to either Mel or myself.
Yes.
So that in and of itself is powerful, and that I think is all we really need to keep doing what we're doing. Just knowing that if nothing else, we have somebody to talk to get that load off.
That's right.
You know that somebody believes them and is there to support and validate everything that they're feeling. I think that's what continues to drive us to do what we're doing.
Yes. I think, any other thoughts? Any other thoughts about this topic?
Well, I would like to say that one of the reasons that I have become very internalized about who I am and what I what I aspire to be, and keeping, like having that, as we were speaking earlier, that kind of shyness and social anxiety and these things is because I experienced, when I was younger, and I've been hushed about it. My family hardly knows about it. I'm 31, and only last year I told my mother. And it's because that happened to me. I turned to poetry.
Yes.
To find a way and outlet to express, what's happening inside of me. And like she said, it's important that we get somewhere where we could share things and let people know what we go through, and
Yes.
because it really affects children and up to the age of 31.
Yes.
Feeling nervous and not trusting people.
That's right.
Being afraid because you don't know, because the person was so close and you figure you could trust that person. That's right. You see the person as a family member, and when that person turns on you, you become like, how do you learn to trust somebody? How do you
Exactly.
learn to
Exactly.
see somebody one way for who they are, when they portray that person to you, and then realize that it's not that. It's a difficult thing.
Fragile.
Yeah.
How do you build trust in life and people in yourself when it's shaking around when it's not working?
Yeah.
I think that's the two most powerful questions I've been asked doing the work that Sue and I do, surviving sexual abuse as a survivor myself, and all the work that we have done, and also the work that I do in rural communities as collaborative projects. The two most powerful questions I've been asked is, how do I rebuild trust? Miss Bell, how do I rebuild trust? And is it okay for me to feel this way?
Yes.
And there's so much going on when they ask that question, because yes, of course it's okay for you to feel this. Like, take the should word out of every support, like I was saying earlier. And it's like, how do you feel? Like so you're saying, validating. It's so important, like you were saying, making them feel believed. And it's not about age, it's about stage and where you are with this right now. How do you feel? Who is your support team? Ultimately, first support team is here. This
right.
is you.
That's right.
This is you, because Sue going through what she went through, us being close friends at a young age, then separating and coming back together, knowing we wanted to come back and do something, not having any direction. And when we found this thing in common, we were like, we can't sit here and do nothing about this. We have each other.
That's right.
But first I had her, because I was humbled and scared by her strength. She's like, I'm gonna do this without you. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I don't know how the hell to put my story out there. Are you crazy? I'm gonna put that out there. And I was like, okay, she's gonna put it out there. I have to put it out there. But I don't have to put it out there. I need to find myself to a point. So it took us 3 years
Yes.
to decide to do it together. She had been ready. She was like,
I did mine in 2010. I don't know what happened. I had started a Facebook group, and it was surviving sexual abuse in the Caribbean. I think it was the same name, on surviving sexual abuse, and that's where I posted my story. And people, it was strange because that was the first time you knew what the reaction was going to be. And so you obviously you're on Facebook, so you send a request to everybody, and you find people join the group, and then you're like, oh, I have 10 people, but then tomorrow I have 5.
Right.
And they're like, well, why? And the common thing was like, well, people are asking me if I've been sexually abused, and I don't want that. So you don't want to be part of this thing that's affecting all of us.
That's right.
I mean, now you can go back and you can say, well, clearly, probably that person was also sexually abused and wasn't ready to and didn't want the question.
Right.
But at the time, I wasn't there, and I was like, well, so you're just going to leave me out? Because at that time, you're even more insecure, and there was no backing, there was no
backing out. Right.
It was just me.
Right.
So it was huge, and you didn't know how anybody was going to respond, and this was coming from not telling 98% of the people that I was around to now
The whole world.
everybody knowing.
Right. Right.
I think it's important to have somebody to talk to who doesn't know who you are.
Okay.
And
and I can say that personally, and I know her personally.
Okay.
And you know when you feel like you can talk to somebody and they don't know who I am, so I can say whatever it is.
Right.
Because there's always that chance of somebody being like, oh wow, I didn't know that's what it was. And then now everybody's being so sympathetic. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Sometimes you don't want to hear that.
That's right.
You just want to share it
That's
with
right.
somebody who can be understanding.
That's right.
And who you can be open with. And
Yes.
somebody who's also experienced it themselves. Because a lot of people say, yes, I understand, but they don't. So it is, should I say nice? It's a good thing to have somebody who is experienced to be able to tell you it's okay.
That's right.
And it gives you a lot of encouragement. Like I said, to wake up the queen and be like, I'm a lot more than my circumstance. And thank you. You are just man.
Yeah.
I did not come here to. Please don't do that. I don't need crying.
It's a beautiful thing that was needed. And you know, we talk about the universe, and the universe tends to do things at perfect timing.
That's right.
And I'm sure you ladies have seen so many young people, and you know that so many more young people haven't spoken as yet.
right.
So thank you as women for giving us young people the opportunity to speak.
Thank you guys for believing in us. You know, you didn't have to come to us, so.
Yeah.
Thanks for wanting to wake up the queen in you.
Yes. It's a push and it's a welcoming thing. It is a welcoming environment. You don't have to feel ashamed or anything. It's not you. Your circumstance is not related to you in any way.
Look at the camera and tell them that. Tell them.
Your circumstance is not related to you in any way, okay? Own up to who you are apart from your circumstance. Say to yourself, okay, if I didn't go through this, who would I be? And be that person.
And there's events that happen. You don't have to stay stuck in the event.
Right.
Like
It
you
happens.
said, it happened. There's things that you learned from it. You, as we've talked about, growing from it. For whatever reason, this was a part of my journey. But now this is where I am in the journey. And what am I going to do with it now?
I always tell people that, I mean, I think something that we say quite often is that you are not defined by your sexual assault.
Yes.
It was one part of your life, and yes, it was a horrible part of your life, and we all wish that it didn't happen, but we can't change it. And so, yes, I know it's hard to say that it's made you stronger, because I think a lot of survivors don't realize how strong we are.
It's the truth.
Obviously, and we can understand for many reasons why, but I think we reiterate every time that you have a chance to say that you are strong, that you're brave, because you've dealt with this. And you go through every day smiling and being productive and taking care of children and families.
Going to
You
school,
have done
classes,
you've done
everything.
so much. And in certain circumstances, you put your family and your community and whoever else above what is best for you.
That's right.
So be happy for that.
That's
Like,
right.
You know, yes, it was bad, but it's not going to stop you from being whatever it is that you want to be. It's just one part of your life.
Tell them that again.
It's this one part of your life.
And it's not going
Don't
to
let
stop
it
you.
define you. It's not going to stop you from being who you want to be or doing whatever you want to.
All right. Well, at this moment, we're going to take a commercial break. Thank you for joining us.
You're very
Although brief,
welcome.
very powerful. We'll be back in a moment on Dr. Walls and Friends.